Got my man King Combs, bad boy.
Sir, bad boy for life, man. Can't stop, won't stop. See what's going on, man.
All right, so King Combs hanging out.
Eminem just dove into the fray, shattering the calm and letting the truth pour out. Why? Diddy's sons are reportedly shaken by 50 Cent. This isn't just some online spat or petty shots fired. Em insists it runs much deeper. According to him, Diddy's sons are sweating bullets over the secrets 50 might hold, explosive truths that could obliterate their father's carefully crafted image. And if you know 50 Cent, you know he doesn't hold back. He's practically turned exposing celebrity dirt into an art form, leaving no skeleton in the closet unexamined. So, the big question looms. What does 50 really have on Diddy? And what might that mean for Diddy's legacy, especially with his sons trying to carve their own paths in the spotlight? The tension peaked when King Combs, Diddy's son, dropped a line that left everyone's jaws hanging. Did he really say that? But here's the rub. In the music game, one unspoken rule stands firm: don't come for 50 Cent. Yet King Combs didn't just call out 50, he even threw shade at Eminem. 50's rock-solid ally since day one. That's a dangerous gamble. 50's saga isn't just about music, it's about survival. He clawed his way out of Queens, building an empire through sheer grit and determination. The man's a predator in this arena, and Diddy's son might be swimming right into his jaws. What's wilder? King Combs doesn't even seem shaken. He's charging forward as if he's invincible, as if this won't all explode in his face. It's bold, sure, but looking more reckless with every move. Yet he presses on, seemingly blind to the storm barreling toward him. It's like Christian is practically inviting disaster, and if he doesn't play his cards right, he might just make the biggest mistake of his life. He's even out here throwing up gang signs, like he's a product of the trenches. But let's face it, he's probably never had to walk a real block under fire. Compare that to 50 Cent, who didn't just survive the streets, he owned them. What's running through Christian Combs' mind right now? Not long ago, he released a diss track aimed squarely at 50, holding nothing back. One bar goes, "Police raid the crib like we selling crack. We ain't doing that, but we out here selling tracks, multi-million-dollar plaques. That's bold, sure, but it gets even messier." Then he fires off, "I'd rather put this stock on wax. All that gossip's just whack. When all they had was 50 Cent. Who put this city on the map? Stop lying." Basically, Christian's shading someone, possibly 50, implying he snitched on Diddy, but he doesn't stop there. Christian drops another wild line. "Too bad they didn't know we bought the one next door, 'cause that's the one they missed." Wait, what? That's nearly confessing something huge. He's suggesting that whatever the feds were after wasn't even in the house they raided. It was in the house next door, which he hints also belongs to Diddy. Not only did Christian fire off a diss track that didn't really hit its mark, but he might have just revealed way too much, dragging his dad even deeper into the drama. And if you think that's the end, think again. Christian kept going, dropping more hints about his father. He rapped, "Pop's been hated on by many men, and that's fine. They're gonna try to stop these Eminems, and they're gonna die. Try and pull up to the south side. We locked and we got ties. Don't give a damn about no blogs, 'cause we really outside." This isn't just throwing shade, this is practically setting off fireworks. But does Christian even realize how close he is to setting the whole place ablaze? That's a clear throwback to 50 Cent's iconic "Many Men" from Get Rich or Die Tryin'. It's obvious that Christian's trying to flip 50's signature style back at him, but that's a dangerous game. And of course, 50 wasn't about to let it slide. The G-Unit boss hit back. But how? Let's not forget, this feud runs deep. 50's been throwing shade at Diddy for years. Long before the latest wave of headline-grabbing accusations and wild party rumors, 50 was already planting seeds. Over a decade ago, he posted a now infamous photo of himself in a hospital bed, surrounded by stuffed animals. The caption? A sharp dig at Diddy. "Sorry," he wrote. "I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are now left under the leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. No thieves January 19th. It was only the beginning." 50 later dropped a picture of Diddy and Rick Ross in what appeared to be an intense hug on stage. The crowd saw it. The internet ate it up. That single snapshot reignited whispers about their relationship. And then, another blow. 50 shared a photo of Diddy in a flamboyant pink outfit, arms wrapped around a former record exec. His caption, "I ain't saying nothing, but something ain't right. LML, talk about cutting precision." But the real fireworks came during a radio interview when 50 claimed Diddy had once invited him on a lavish, all-expenses-paid shopping spree, allegedly as a lead-in to one of those notorious parties. According to 50, he turned the offer down instantly. That little anecdote poured gasoline on an already simmering fire. 50 said the whole situation left him completely baffled. He didn't know what Diddy's true intentions were. Diddy later tried to downplay it, saying he thought 50 just needed new clothes, like it was some friendly gesture. But 50's response, his posts, and his history with Diddy all paint a picture of a feud that's been quietly building for years, now ready to erupt at any moment. But let's face it, Diddy's explanation didn't sway anyone, and the drama? Oh, it was only just beginning. When Cassie hit Diddy with a jaw-dropping $30 million lawsuit packed with serious accusations, 50 didn't waste a second. The moment news broke that Diddy had settled the case within 24 hours, 50 jumped on Instagram, fully in troll mode. He roasted Diddy for wrapping it up so quickly, making it seem like he was desperate to sweep everything under the rug. And that wasn't even the craziest part. 50 then cranked the heat all the way up by announcing that he was in talks with Hollywood producers to create a tell-all documentary about Diddy. Yes, you heard that right. 50 even reposted an article teasing the project, making it crystal clear that a deep dive into Diddy's life was already underway. And he wasn't just bluffing. He made it obvious that he had real material lined up, stories that could shake the entire industry. If those whispers and rumors from over the years are true, this documentary could blow the roof off the entertainment world. Diddy may have thought the flames would die down, but 50's actively hunting for proof that he's not playing. He even shared a clip on Instagram that seemed to be from the documentary. In it, former Bad Boy rapper Mark Curry alleged that Diddy used to spike certain bottles of Moët at the club, making women feel sleepy. That's the kind of accusation that could send shockwaves through the industry. And Mark Curry didn't hold back. He also claimed that Diddy would warn his crew not to drink from particular bottles. That paints a chilling picture, one that's hard to ignore. And just weeks before that clip surfaced, 50 had already clashed with Jason Derulo over the situation, showing he was ready to take on anyone who stood in his way. It all kicked off when a TMZ reporter approached Derulo and asked, "You've worked with Diddy before, and he's helped your career a lot. Do you think people should give him some grace? Or at least the benefit of the doubt, innocent until proven guilty?" Derulo paused before responding. I believe in that. I believe in innocent until proven guilty." 50 Cent wasn't feeling Derulo's response one bit. He saw it as defending Diddy, and he wasn't about to let that slide. He hopped on Instagram and went off, straight up telling Derulo to keep quiet. Then he doubled down with a cutting remark, joking that Derulo might end up on one of those infamous tapes, a clear jab at producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones' earlier claims that Diddy allegedly kept incriminating footage of his party guests. But Derulo wasn't backing down. He clapped back with a video edit of himself landing a punch on a figure with 50's face pasted over it. In the comments, Derulo clarified that he didn't even know Diddy personally, but believed in giving people the benefit of the doubt. Still, fans flooded Derulo's posts, warning him, "This isn't the guy you want to mess with." They knew that once you're on 50's radar, there's no telling what he might dig up next. 50 Cent is legendary for refusing to let celebrity drama go unchecked, and his long-standing feud with Diddy is no exception. The tensions escalated even further when 50's ex, Daphne Joy, mother of his 11-year-old son, Sire, was dragged into the chaos. The latest wave of drama hit when Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit that named Daphne, accusing her of allegedly working with Diddy in questionable ways. Furious, Daphne quickly took to Instagram to slam the accusations as false and labeled the whole thing character assassination. But 50? Oh, he wasn't letting that go. He trolled her on social media, writing, "I didn't know you were a worker. You little worker, LOL." That post sent the internet into a frenzy, sparking endless chatter, and 50 wasn't done yet. He kept the trolling alive, refusing to let the story fade quietly into the background. 50 even posted, then deleted, an Instagram pic of Daphne walking next to Diddy, tossing shade and accusing her of taking money from him. That set Daphne off, and she clapped back hard. She fired back online, claiming 50 barely visited their son while in New York and even made heavy allegations of mistreatment and abuse. 50 swiftly denied all of it, releasing a statement to the Los Angeles Times. Then came the March raids. Federal agents descended on Diddy's Miami and LA properties, and of course 50 had something to say. He jumped on Twitter and posted, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done." He added, "They don't come like that unless they got a case." From that moment, 50 cranked his trolling into overdrive, hammering Diddy with a barrage of daily memes, headlines, and relentless jokes to keep the heat on. This feud is no new development. It stretches all the way back to at least 2006, when 50 dropped a diss track implying he knew who was behind the tragic 1997 drive-by that took Biggie's life. This isn't just a fleeting rap beef, it's tangled up in history, and 50 hasn't let go. As recently as last December, he stirred the pot by suggesting that Diddy might have had some kind of link to Tupac Shakur's 1996 murder. That's a seismic claim. Authorities haven't tied Diddy to either case, but that hasn't stopped 50 from keeping the narrative alive. To him, this isn't just personal, it's practically a crusade. And the battlefield? It's not limited to music. The clash has spilled over into the business world, with their vodka brands squaring off. The two have traded not only lyrical shots, but marketing blows. 50's been adamant that Diddy's carefully maintained public image is just an illusion, and he's taking things a step further, declaring he's deep into producing a documentary aimed at exposing the allegations surrounding Diddy. Even more striking, he claims all the proceeds will go to victims. The March raids hit like a thunderclap. Federal agents descended on Diddy's Miami and LA homes, reportedly as part of a sweeping federal investigation. Diddy's legal team lashed out, calling it an unprovoked ambush and firmly denying any wrongdoing. But 50 didn't waste a second seizing the moment. He turned his social media accounts into a round-the-clock update feed, sharing every headline, meme, and detail like it was part of his own personal campaign. And here's a surprising angle most people never heard. According to Tony Yayo in a Vlad TV interview, 50 actually tried to sign with Bad Boy way back in the day. Yayo spilled, "A lot of people don't know this story. 50 went to Diddy for Bad Boy, we had the meeting, and it's crazy that Diddy didn't sign him." Looking back, Yayo called it one of Bad Boy's biggest missed opportunities. Just imagine how the industry might have shifted if Diddy had brought 50 on board. That "what if" looms large, showing how a single decision can change the trajectory of careers, and even music history. Yayo was blunt. That was one of the biggest mistakes Bad Boy ever made. And he's got a point. Back then, the streets were buzzing with tension tied to Kenneth's Supreme McGriff, and that fear loomed large over 50. According to Yayo, Diddy himself spelled it out during the meeting, listing 3 major reasons why some folks were hesitant to align with certain artists, and the fallout from Biggie's murder topped the list. Diddy, cautious as ever, opted to sidestep the risk. But by doing so, he might have let one of the biggest potential successes slip right through his fingers. For many, it's a reminder that Diddy always seemed to prioritize whatever kept his own financial game strong. While that strategy worked more often than not, passing on 50 might just go down as one of the most talked about fumbles in hip-hop's history. As one fan put it, 50 can have 200 dudes around him for security, but Yayo is the only one he really needs. That level of loyalty? Unmatched. When you reach the top, having someone who's been there from the start, someone who's got your back no matter what, is worth more than any amount of money. Back in the day, Bad Boy Entertainment was Diddy's crowning achievement. Launched under Sony Music, it was all about putting East Coast talent on the map and letting fresh voices shine. But after Biggie's devastating death in '97, Bad Boy was desperate for a new star to carry the torch. By the early 2000s, Diddy had a golden opportunity to sign 50 Cent, just before he exploded with hits like "In Da Club." The potential was crystal clear. 50 was already building a buzz, and everyone knew he was next in line. But Diddy passed. And looking back now, that decision has become one of the biggest what-ifs in hip-hop history. At that critical moment, 50 was making waves with his mixtape grind. The streets were on fire with his name, and many saw him as New York's next big thing. Still, record labels were hesitant. 50's street ties ran deep and the risks seemed too high. But then came his breakout mixtape, Guess Who's Back? The game changer that grabbed Eminem's attention. M saw raw, unfiltered talent and took a huge chance on the Queen's rapper. As soon as that mixtape dropped, 50 inked a deal with Eminem's Shady Records under the Interscope umbrella, and that move changed everything. It set the stage for Get Rich or Die Tryin', an album that didn't just make noise, it rocked the industry to its core. By now, Get Rich or Die Tryin' is a hip-hop classic, but back when it dropped, the growing tension between 50 Cent and Diddy was impossible to ignore. 50, never one to bite his tongue, turned up the heat by taking shots at Diddy's infamous private parties and the secrets he thought were lurking behind the scenes. When 50 found a chance to put everything out in the open, he floored it, sparking a feud that's still reverberating through the music world today. And then there was that wild, viral clip. Diddy rocking a wig, acting totally unfiltered. The video had fans scratching their heads, wondering what was really going on behind the curtain. The internet erupted. Diddy, meanwhile, acted like nothing could rattle him, staying focused on his next moves, or at least pretending to. In the clip, Diddy seemed almost too at ease, sporting a wig and vibing out to Travis Scott's Birds in the Trap sing McKnight on Snapchat. It wasn't just the wig, it was the whole mood, licking his lips, dancing without a care, that left fans buzzing. Many felt it wasn't just a silly moment. One fan outright declared, "This is his true state. He's way too comfortable. Him licking his lips says it all." Another chimed in, "Black lace blouse, flower print leggings, and a Becky wig, SMH." Of course, 50 didn't let the opportunity slide. He quickly reposted the video on Instagram, turning it into another round of relentless trolling. The post set off a new wave of laughter, debate, and as always, more questions about what's really going on with Diddy. 50's caption simply said, "What the F, man?" But he wasn't finished there. He kept the jabs coming, digging deeper and implying that this wasn't just about one odd outfit. It was about a pattern of behavior he'd been noticing for years. And 50's not the only one who's been paying attention. Eminem, his longtime friend, has also taken his own lyrical shots in the past. Now, fans are rewinding one of Eminem's older verses from his track Fuel, and it's sparking fresh debate. With Diddy's legal troubles making headlines again, people are starting to connect the dots. Some music fans are saying Eminem's bars, dropped last July, were loaded with subtle warnings and hidden jabs about Diddy's alleged behavior. Eminem has a reputation for weaving truth into his punchlines, and suddenly those lines are hitting harder than ever. It's looking like M may have been pointing things out before anyone else even noticed. His verse isn't just about the flow, it's about the layers beneath. He began by spelling out rapper, but deliberately left out a P, turning it into RPA. It seemed random at first, until M flipped the word. Next he used ise, a West Coast slang term for homie in Spanish, but then he flipped it again, possibly hinting at the acronym SA, a term that's appeared in serious online discussions. That level of wordplay sent fans scrambling to decipher the deeper meaning, and now they're wondering, did Eminem know something long before the rest of us caught on? Then came the line that hit like a sledgehammer. Wait, he didn't spell the word rapper and leave out a P? Fans quickly put two and two together, leave out a P, and you're left with Diddy, Puff Daddy's longtime nickname. The realization landed hard. Listeners began saying this wasn't just clever, it was deliberate. Eminem may have been dropping hints about shady behavior tied to Diddy long before any lawsuits or federal raids hit the front pages. Eminem's lyrical shots rarely come out of nowhere, and this time, they go even deeper. In the same track, M name-dropped both Tupac and Biggie, enough to make anyone's ears perk up. But what does Tupac have to do with this? Well, back in the day, Tupac wasn't afraid to call out Diddy. Their beef was well known in the industry. In fact, according to some sources, Tupac once gave a no-holds-barred interview where he spoke about Quincy Jones and made some heavy allegations. It was one of those moments when Pac tried to shine a light on things people didn't want to hear. Now, some are wondering if history is repeating itself, adding more fuel to the fire. And it's not just old tensions being dredged up. Recent rumors suggest Diddy's sons allegedly had a heated moment with Ray J. People say it wasn't just industry drama, it may have roots in deeper gang connections. If that's true, it would explain the bold, confrontational way they've handled their conflicts over the years. Then came the bombshell that shook the industry. Word spread about a face-off between Diddy's sons and Ray J at a Halloween party. And this wasn't just run-of-the-mill party drama. Whispers suggest the confrontation was no coincidence, with some alleging Diddy orchestrated it from behind the scenes. The clash reportedly went down outside a Halloween bash in Los Angeles, and according to TMZ, things got heated. Ray J had just left the party alongside his manager, David Weintraub, and Amber Rose. That's when Diddy's sons, Quincy, Justin, and Christian, allegedly rolled up, ready for confrontation. And they weren't there to make small talk. They were furious over comments Ray J had made about Diddy's legal troubles and wanted to send a clear message. Witnesses say the Combs brothers circled Ray J, making it look like things were about to escalate fast. Voices were raised, chests puffed out, and for a moment it seemed like King Combs and Justin were seconds away from throwing punches. This wasn't just about heated words, it was about standing their ground for their father's name. But just as fists seemed ready to fly, Chris Brown, who was chilling in his car nearby, saw the commotion. He rushed over alongside Ray J's manager and quickly stepped in to defuse the tension. Brown helped separate the Combs brothers before things got out of hand. Thankfully, no one got hurt. Eventually, the groups went their separate ways, but the air was still thick with tension, and one thing was crystal clear. Diddy's sons weren't going to back down. Since their father's legal troubles began, they've been showing up at public events, standing tall, and defending his name at every turn. They've sent a clear message: disrespect the family and you'll hear from them. This latest incident with Ray J might have been the first time the public took notice, but behind the scenes, it was reportedly round 4. According to sources, Diddy's sons and Ray J have had at least 3 other heated run-ins before this. TMZ reported that Ray J admitted he still considers Diddy and his son's family, but things have come close to boiling over. He described how harsh insults from the Combs brothers nearly pushed him to his limit. Despite the bad blood, Ray J has said he's still open to squashing the beef peacefully. However, many believe there's much more happening behind the scenes. Insiders are whispering that Diddy's influence on his sons runs deep. There are even claims he may have directed them to confront Ray J, to intimidate him or possibly silence him before any major secrets can spill. Given Diddy's history, it's no surprise that these rumors are turning heads. Diddy has long faced accusations of using his influence behind the scenes to keep people quiet, especially when it comes to safeguarding his empire. Now, with Ray J speaking out more boldly about lawsuits, scandals, and everything in between, people can't help but wonder, what exactly does Ray J know? Some suspect he's holding onto a bombshell so explosive that Diddy would go to any length to keep it hidden. And guess who's been calling this out from the start? 50 Cent. For years, 50 has accused Diddy of being a master manipulator, someone who pulls strings, uses those closest to him, and stops at nothing to keep the truth locked away. With Diddy's sons now moving like soldiers in this ongoing drama, the scenario is beginning to resemble the very picture 50's been painting all along. Fans are taking notice like never before. The rumors swirling around Diddy's alleged behind-the-scenes maneuvering are making it look like 50's warnings might have been right all along. He's always said that Diddy treats people like chess pieces, moving them strategically to maintain control. And now it seems even his own sons may be caught up as pawns in this high-stakes game. With Eminem dropping subtle lyrical hints and 50 keeping the heat on daily, the feud has escalated far beyond music. This isn't just about tracks or beef anymore. It's about legacy, reputation, and control. Fans are now asking the big questions. What's next for Diddy? How deep do these power plays really go? And what could all of this mean for his family's future? No one knows where this story will land, but one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher and the public is watching closely.